Yo everyone, it's me again, and welcome to the draft analysis of the Meloetta Draft League, MDL, as I'm going to call it, starting from now. So yeah, MDL is a low tier league. I think they allowed mons being 12 points and under. And the Terra rules are mons that were 7 points and under could Terra into 3 different types, one being Steppen and 2 out of choice. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I really love low tier. It's been a while since I played though, so I think it's been like GWA season 3 of low tier, which I lost in semifinals. I think that was like 2 or 3 months ago, so it's been a while for me. Yeah, I'm really excited to be playing this. It's a league with only 6 people. It's a division with only 6 people, I should say. I think there are 3 divisions, 3 of 6 people, and top 2 make playoffs. I'm not sure how that's going to work out because that's 6 people in playoffs, and that's excuse me, and that doesn't really work in my head, but like that's a worry for someone else. Top 2 of my division makes playoffs, so yeah, it's a 5 week season, so everyone plays everyone once. So I really like that format. So yeah, excited for this one. And let's just get straight into what I drafted. So up first, I was fifth overall. I didn't really mind though, because there was only one mon I really wanted to use, and I got this. Like, it's the Heracross. Heracross is like a top 10 overall favorite mon for me. I really love this thing. I've been wanting to draft it ever since it came back into Gen 9, but I never did because its speeder is a bit awkward. And then I kind of wanted to use it with Terra, and it's never allowed with Terra in the high tiers. And then low tiers, it's usually banned too, so I never got the chance to, so I'm really excited to be able to use it now. Yeah, Heracross, if you don't know what it does, it gets Guts, it gets Moxie. It also gets Swarm, so if I want to be funny and run some like a Salakberry Mega Horn set in the Swarm, that could be really fun. But no, it's very physically strong. It's quite bulky too, honestly, like 80 HP, 75 defense, 95 speed def. It isn't bad. And with 85 speed, that's a really good speed stat for a Scarfer. It also gets Trailblaze. But yeah, I'm mostly going to be clicking CC, knockoff, Megahorn, stuff like that. Maybe even a Swords Dance set, that could be insane. Yeah, I'm really excited to use Heracles. It's one of the best physical rakers in the league. Maybe even in Gen 9, not even low tier. So I'm very excited to be finally using it, and I do hope I get a chance to make it the kill leader overall. So for my round 2, it was almost immediately back to me. I decided to pick up Sylveon. This is not a low tier in my opinion. Like, it's probably top 3 of my favorite fairies in Gen 9. Not even in low tier. In Gen 9 overall. It's really good, it's not a low tier. And usually in low tier you just struggle finding a good fairy, finding a good steal. So for me to get this really strong Sylveon in round 2, like sure, it's technically 8 pick overall. Because we only have 6 people. But still, round 2 Sylveon and low tier, it's really strong. Like, if you look at Sylveon's stats, it's bulky, everyone knows it. 95 HP, 130 speed F, but it also has the 110 special attack. Like, Hyper Voice Pixelate is really strong. It also gets Calm Mind, but most people know it for like a Wish Baton Pass set, which could be really nice to like run my Flame Orb Heracross, so it gets chipped down quite a lot by its Flame Orb. But then I click Wish with my Sylveon, Baton Pass into Heracross, get to full HP, get a free move, get a free switch into Heracross. So yeah, I think it synergizes quite well. It's the best fairy in the format, so I'm excited to be using it again. So for my third one, I decided to pick up Torkoal because somehow weather is allowed in this league, which is kind of scary. Not for me though, because I drafted the weather. And Torkoal is just a really good mon. Like, I didn't rate it before I drafted it before, but then I used it because I wanted a Sun team, and it's just really reliable. Like, it's a reliable spinner, which there aren't many of in low tier. It's a reliable stealth rocker as well. Like, usually mons that have stealth rocks, I don't like having to force stealth rocks on because they usually want like 4 other moves. But this Torkoal can just run stealth rock and rapid spin each week and set up Sun, and it's going to be fine. Other than that, it's really physically bulky. So like with Sylveon being especially bulky and Torkoal being physically bulky, I have a good defensive core. The only thing Torkoal really lacks is reliable healing. But then again, I have a Sylveon with Wish, so they synergize quite well. And I do have a really scary Sun now, which is something that my fourth Pokemon, that you can see, really appreciates. And that is the Lilligant. This is also my first Terra Captain. because the league didn't Terra ban it, and I picked it up for 3 points. So, as a reminder, 7 and below can Terra. Lilligant was 3 points. I genuinely think the league forgot to Terra ban it. I genuinely do. Because like Balosso was also 3 points, and that thing was Terra banned. But I feel like it isn't. It's so stupid. Like I've used this thing before. I think I used it in 5 games, and it got 15 kills. It was kill leader that season, and I only used it for 5 games. This thing is strong, man. I really like it. People who know me know that I'm a really big Lilligant believer, so I'm excited to have it in low tier, even though it should not be allowed to Terra in low tier. It even has an argument to not be allowed in low tier in general, in my opinion. So it gets weatherable now too, so I don't even need to Terra. Like I can be running Quiver Dance, Alluring Voice, Giga Drain, weatherable, and I have my coverage, genuinely. But that being said, it's my Terra captain, so I did need to bring Terra Grass, because I did need to stab type. But then I went for Terra Fire just to get really strong weather balls in the sun, and Grass plus Fire just hits everything, and it's also quite good defensively for Lilligant's weaknesses, the Grass type. Plus, I don't need to rely on weather ball if my sun has gone down already, or if I don't bring sun. And then for my last Terra type, I did decide on Terra Ground just to be able to hit fire types, because Lilligant's coverage to hit fire types isn't the greatest. Like, if you look at its move pool, it's Alluring Voice, Grass move, Grass move, Grass move, Grass move, Grass move, Normal type move, Weather Ball. Yeah, so it's a Pollen buff. So it doesn't get anything to hit fire types other than like a normal move, which isn't coverage. So yeah, that's why I decided to go Terra Ground as my last Terra type. Everyone knows what Lilligant does. It clicks Quiver Dance, it sweeps, but it also can be bulky with Leech Seed. It even gets growth, so if I do decide to bring Sun, I kinda go in. Like, I get my +2 speed boost from the Chlorophyll, I get my +2 attack, +2 special attack, mainly or mostly. Yeah, sorry, English is hard sometimes. Mainly or mostly. And then, yeah, I am. I basically have my weakness policy and agility setup, so it's a shell smash without a defense boost. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm waffling. Sorry. It's Quiver Dance, it gets growth. It gets Healing Wish as well. This one is going to get so many kills. Like, it's probably the biggest rival for my Heracross being MVP, which is kind of funny. But no, Lilligant, Terra Grass, Terra Fire, Terra Ground. I'm really excited to use it. So for my 5th one overall, I drafted Salazzle. I originally didn't really want Salazzle. Like, I wanted Charizard. Usually when I play low tier, I really like drafting one of the starters that is overshadowed, like Samurott, like Sceptile. And now I thought, like, it's Charizard time. I have Sun. I was so looking forward to be running the shiny Terra Fire Specs Charizard every week and just blast things into oblivion. But then somebody else decided to draft it round 5? A round 5 Charizard when you don't have Sun? Why? I was sad. I really was. So I decided to pick up the tryhard fire type, Salazzle. It's probably better. Like, it's 117 base speed, it's really damn fast. I kinda needed some more speed because at the moment my Lilligant is my fastest with 90. So Salazzle's really good. It also hits harder than Charizard. Sure, it doesn't get solar power, but then I don't have to worry about losing HP every time. So yeah, and it gets corrosion. Everyone knows Salazzle, aka Stalazzle. Substitute Toxic Protect. Have fun with it, people. I'm also not sure this thing is something that I would allow in low tier, but I'm happy to be using it for the first time, and I think it will be fine. Like, it's a really strong special the offensive fire type. Like, it's 111 special attack. In the sun, there isn't much that will be wanting to take a flamethrower, a fire blast, or an overheat from it. So yeah, not Charizard, but probably better. More tryhard though, so still excited for it. For my 6th one overall, I decided to pick up my second Terra Captain, Hisuian Avalok, which is somehow holding a Master Ball, so that's funny. Hisuian Avalok, just like Lilligant, was only 3 points, so I still have 5 Terra points left, and I feel like I have 2 really strong Terra Caps in Hisuian Avalok and Lilligant. I decided on Rock because I needed Stab, and I think Rock is better than Ice. And then I went for Ghost to be a spin blocker and to be really bulky and immune to fighting moves, which I'm otherwise quite weak to. And for my lost star type, I decided on fairy because it's probably the best typing in the game. And then I have a physical fairy, a physically defensive fairy as Avalok, especially defensive fairy and Sylveon. It's just going to be really good. It's another rocker, so it don't have to always bring rocks on Torkoal if I don't want to, or don't have to bring Torkoal every time. It's a very bulky mon with recover this time, so I don't need to rely on Sylveon to wish it up, even though it would appreciate it. And people are definitely sleeping on the Avalok's attack stat. Like 127 physical attack, it's a lot. And it does get quite some nice coverage moves. So yeah, I think this thing will put in a lot of work. It's basically one of those things that says like, okay, you're a physically offensive Pokemon. You still ain't breaking me. So yeah, I have a very bulky team with Sylveon, Torkoal, and Hisui and Avalok so far. And I hit really hard with Lilligant and Salazzle and Heracross. So yeah, my team is looking good, I feel like. And for my next one, this is my last Terra Captain. I decided on the Electrode. It's the fastest one allowed in the format. Tied with Hisuian Electrode, of course, but that thing can Terra, and my Electrode can, so I think it's better. Like, Hisuian Electrode is always better than the regular one, sure. But mine can Terra and the Hisuian can, so I think mine's better. Like, Electrode, you know what it does. It clicks Terra Blast Ice, it clicks Volt Switch. It's one of the fastest mons ever. It's the fastest mon in low tier. I think if I just lead the Electrode every time, I can just take a free Volt Switch into one of the better leads for me. Because if they decide to block my Volt Switch with like a ground type, they run the risk of getting Terra Blast Ice. So yeah, I don't like fighting electric types that can Terra Ice, so I decided to just draft one myself and join in the chaos. Its abilities are decent, soundproof. Usually works better when you do fight Sylveon, so I have Sylveon, so that's not that great. But it's not a bad ability, soundproof. Static is nice to punish from U-turners, punish from knockoff units. Although Electrode isn't the bulkiest, so I'm not sure how much I want to be fishing for a para. But no, I'm excited to use it. Like, most weeks is just going to be Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Terra Blast, and then like Explosion or Screens or something like that. Maybe even Taunt or Volt Switch. I'm not sure if I'm going to be loving it, because it's a really weak Pokemon. But then again, I always hate fighting it, so it's probably a mixture of both. I will be able to tell you after the season if I do enjoy this Electrode. But it's my final Terra Captain. So to recap my Terra Caps, Lilligant, 3 out of 11, Grass, Fire, Ground, Hisui and Avalok, 3 out of 11, so that's 6 together. Hisui and Avalok, Rock, Ghost, and Fairy. And then my Electrode, I don't know if I mentioned that, is Electric Ice, and then my last Terra type is Ground. Yes, it's Ground. Or it's Fairy. I don't know actually. Let me check the doc, because I'm doing it out of my out of the top of my head. I think it might be Fairy. Excuse me. Very professional YouTuber, by the way. Very professional YouTuber. Teams. There is. It's Terra Ground. Probably to hit the electric types with what's it called? Volt Absorb like a Jolteon, or with Lightning Rod, so to punish other things that can stop my Volt Switch. So I punish the ground types with Terra Blast Ice, and then I punish the Volt Absorbers and Lightning Rod mons with Terra Blast Ground. That's probably why I decided to use the Terra Ground on the Electrodes. So Fire, Ground, and Grass on Lilligant, Rock, Ghost, and Fairy on Avalok Hisui, and Electric, Ice, and Grind on the Electrodes. My next one is Bisharp. I mentioned with Sylveon that there aren't really that many good steals or fairies in low tier. In my opinion, this Bisharp is probably one of the best steals. Definitely the steal I like the most, other than Tinkaton, which I didn't need because I have Sylveon. So yeah, Bisharp, it's Baby King Gambit. It's crazy this thing is a low tier, honestly. I remember it in Gen 8. It ran around in OU, maybe UU, but I think it was an OU Pokemon. And now it can be Eviolite as well, and it's a low tier. Gen 9 is kind of crazy. I don't believe that it got Power Cap, by the way. I just think people don't want to use it anymore because it's not new and King Gambit's very strong, so yeah. I'm kind of hoping to prove a point and make Bishar bannable in low tier this season. But no, like, it's a really good steal, it's a really good Dark. Sure, it doesn't resist Moonblast, but there aren't that many strong fairies anyway. And because it's a Bishop, I can be running Evil at max HP, and your Moonblast isn't going to do that much. And I have strong fairy switches anyway with Torkoal and with my Salazzle quad resisting it. So yeah, Bishop, Babe King Gambit. Only thing it doesn't get is the broken Supreme Overlord, but I still get Defiant, which is one of the best abilities in the game in my opinion. And I surely don't get Kowtow Cleave either, but it's Sucker Punch, get Night Slash. It's another Stealth Rocker too. So I had Stealth Rocks now, he's doing Avalok on Bishop and on Torkoal, so I get some versatility to be using the Stealth Rocks if I need to. And yeah, one thing that's important on Bishop, my team is really fast with the Electrode, with Salazzle, with Lilligant, and even Heracross. People probably want to be running Choice Scarves against me, and Choice Scarf mons are really prone to get Sucker Punched by Bisharp, so yeah, I think it's got really good synergy. It's another physical attacker, which I definitely lacked, because like Electrode is a special attacker, Salazzle is a special attacker, Sylveon special attacker, Lilligant, so it kind of helps Heracross break through teams on the physical side. So Heracross doesn't have to do it on its own. I'm excited to be using this Bisharp. My next one I drafted is a Flygon. Originally I had Noivern, but Noivern was 3 points more expensive than Flygon, and the speed tier Noivern offered was good, but I didn't really need it because I have Salazzle. And I was looking at Noivern like, yeah, you probably want to be running heavy duty boots most weeks, and you can't Dragon Dance either. It's another special attacker, and I do need to rely on Hurricane when I have a Sunmon, so I was feeling a bit iffy about it. And then I looked at Flygon and I was like, yeah, I still need the ground type. It's also a Levitator, so I'm still immune to EQ, so I don't need the flying typing from Noivern. I don't miss anything with that. And Flygon is a really good Dragon Dancer. Like, I'm excited to be using this. I really love Dragon Dance Dragons. Flygon also looks way cooler than Noivern. Like, Noivern is a solid 7 or 8 out of 10 Pokemon. Flygon is like a 9.5. We love Flygon. Give it a Mega Pokemon Game Freak, please. But yeah, Flygon. It gets U-Turn. It gets Stealth Rocks too. It gets EQ, it gets Dragon Dance. It gets some really nice special moves too. Like it gets Boom Burst, it gets Bug Buzz, it even gets a Luring Voice, which I didn't know. Yeah, I think this Pokemon is really versatile. I'm going to be loving it. I haven't used it before, so I'm excited for it. It's so cool. I think it's just very nice, and with the 3 points I'm saving from Noivern to go back to Flygon, I can pick up one more Mon, which you will see after my next one. So my second to last one is Basque Legion. I only have access to the female version because the male one was banned, but it doesn't matter to me. The female version is better in my opinion. Like, I drafted Basque Legion in my first ever draft on a rain team. So I have Sun now, which is kind of funny. But on that rain team, I didn't really bring rain that often. I really like just bringing adaptability Basque Legion, like Choice Specs or Choice Scarf. And I mostly brought the special one, the female one. Because like the male doesn't have a good ghost move, so yeah, that female Basque Legion was so good for me. I think it went 11-0 for me. The one time I didn't bring the female one, I went for the male one, was in the finals and I lost finals, so should have brought the female one. Still upset about that, and it's more than a year ago now. But no, female Basque Legion, it gets adaptability, which is really strong. It also gets Mold Breaker. I don't know if that will ever work or come into effect this season, but it also gets Mold Breaker. And it's not because I have Sun that I can be running manual rain, so I even can be running Stritch Sim if I want to. But most of the time, this Basque Legion is going to be running Hydro Pump, Surf, Shadow Ball, adaptability. Really strong. And with the DLC that came out, it now gets Flip Turn. So I didn't have Flip Turn when I used it before, so I think it just got better. I'm really excited for it. It's also a very bulky ghost. People underestimate it. Like, okay, 65 defense, 75 speed F doesn't sound amazing, but 120 HP, it's bulky. This thing doesn't die easily. So I can really use it as a spin blocker, which is really nice. And I have Bisharp with Defiance, so if you want to defog on me, good luck with that, people. And that really comes into effect at my last one that I already hinted at. So my last one is Spidops. That's one I could pick up after the 3 points I got back from Noivern to Flygon. I got 3 points over, so that were just enough points for the Spidops. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The Spidops is just a hazard setter. Like, it gets Sticky Webs, it gets Doctor Spikes, it gets Spikes, it gets U-Turn, it gets Circle Throw, it gets First Impression. It also gets Knockoff, I see. Memento Pain. This thing gets a lot. What on earth? Like most of the time, I'm just going to be running hazard meat. But then I can also first impression some stuff because I have not fake out, stakeout. So if you want to switch in on me, choice band and stakeout first impression does hit quite hard in all honesty. And like U-turn for momentum, knockoff to get rid of items, memento if I want to go for an easy setup sweep with like Heracross or with Flygon or even with my Bisharp. So yeah, this thing offers a lot more than I expected in all honesty. I mainly wanted it for sticky webs, I'm not going to lie. Because my Heracross is something that really appreciates sticky webs, and it's something for my opponents to prep for. Like if they do be running heavy duty boots, they aren't able to run like a choice scarf or a choice specs or a choice band, or they aren't able to run like rookie helmets for Heracross and Bisharp. So yeah, it forces a lot of prep. And if they want to be running Defog and I switch in my Bisharp, they are in so much trouble. And my Basculegion is a really good rapid spin blocker. So yeah, I feel like hazards are quite hard to remove for my opponents. And Spite offers me three of those in spikes, sticky webs, and toxic spikes. Heracross is a spiker, so also get toxic spikes. And I have Flygon, Bisharp, Hisuian, Avalok, and Torkoal for rocks. I feel like I have a really good team. I have a lot of momentum, I have a lot of bulk, I have a lot of hazards. I have good removal in Avalok and Torkoal. I have strong offense with Heracross, Flygon, and Bisharp. I have strong special offense with Basculegion, Salazzle, and Sylveon, Lilligant, Hisuian Electrode. Not Hisuian, regular Electrode, I'm sorry. So yeah, I think I have a really good team. I'm very excited to be using it this season, and I do hope I will perform with it. So yeah, thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you for week 1. Bye bye.